Alright, so let's take a look at the Gear Manager for a couple of seconds. First of all, you have in your Gear Manager, you have the ability to rename your watch, connect or disconnect it. You could also connect new gear, so if you have another watch that you want to connect to it, just in case you have multiple. You could also do a software update, and this is how you will update the actual software that's on the device, and it's done wirelessly. So you'd have to click on this, and then it would check and see. Right now I have mine set as it's installed, auto update Wi-Fi only. So what it would do is it will automatically try to update. You could tap to see if there is a update available if you want to do that manually. So that's an option as well. As you look at the clocks area, what you can do here is change the face of your watch. So by going into the settings, I currently have this weather widget in. I can show the date, take that out. I can modify the color. There's two colors that you can work with here. I'm going to leave mine as is. You can change the clock so that it's an analog clock, or different styles, as you can see here. A very simple one if you'd like that. A dual clock, which is really useful if you're traveling in a different time zone, if you want to know what your local time is and what time it is at home. You also have the ability to have events on your watch, which is also a nice little feature, especially if the weather isn't something that you'd like to see more than the weather. You could do that, so you can choose the events. If you're someone who's very much into fitness, you can have a pedometer and see what the pedometer settings are. And if you notice, as soon as I clicked on that one, it automatically switches. You can see how fast that changes. It's very, very fast. So you can, sorry about that. Let me go back into the clocks. Each one of these clocks has different settings. If I go into the pedometer, you can either show the date, not show the date. There are different options. Not a lot, but still something to consider. You have your weather clock, which is what I had before, and as soon as you click on it, it's changed. If we get out of this for a second and we go into my apps, there are several apps that come with the device, and we slid through a couple of them. Installed apps. What you can also do is look at the apps that you have that you've implemented yourself. I've installed Runtastic onto the device, and what you can also see is that there are a lot of other things that are available as well as you play with the settings. Since this My Apps is almost like a mini app store for the Gear, here you notice that there are other things that you can install. There are not many apps available. This is a new product, so but for those of you who are into Evernote, there's one available for that. There's a Runtastic app that allows you to sync your watch to your phone for running, and which means that this should stand up well to sweat. I've yet to see anything that really highlights that, so I'm going to continue to do research on it before I actually go on a run. But I would doubt that they would have a running app if it wasn't something that could withstand some sweat. So we'll get out of that. You have Find My Gear, which allows you to find your actual watch if you misplace it somewhere in the house. And then you have this area where you go into settings and you can turn on so that the gear will lock. And some of the other small features here. Smart Relay. This allows you to view content from your gear on your mobile device by picking up your mobile device. So you can connect those things together. I'll go ahead and turn that on because I like to see how that works. Wake up gesture, so instead of having to press the button as soon as you bring the watch so that it's kind of visible, you notice how that turned on? That's what that wake up gesture is. So phone's down or the watch is down, and one of the natural things you do when you look at your watch to see the time, you raise it, and when you raise it, it turns on. So that's what wake up gesture does for you. Let's go here, and that's pretty much it. There's not a lot. Again, it's a brand new product. Samsung has been creating smartwatches for a very long time, so this is not their very first smartwatch. It is their very first connected watch that works with the Note 3, but I'm really interested in learning more about how this watch works and how it continues to evolve. Remember, if you do consider to get one of these, it needs to be with the Note 3. It's the only compatible device, and I really don't see any other way to activate it unless you have a Note 3.